more and more and more. And I was,
He said, I feel better than I have felt in years. And so he just wanted to use whatever energy he had, however he felt, to serve more and more. So I anticipate many more years of strong service from you. Jack?
Arigato already start.
Yes, of course. Srila Gurudev, in his own life, gave so many practical examples that can link to almost anything. When he said heart attack and stent, then we remember Gurudev and this kata. So it's the sweet mercy of Gurudev.
yes. I'm okay. I just hot flush. No, no.
Sorry.
It's fine. Thank you. Yes, okay.
It's called New Jaipur Dam
New Jaipur Dam.
because of the heat.
Just today? Do you have an official name for this temple? Besides New Jaipur?
Jagannath Temple, House of Bhakti Yoga, House of Bhakti Yoga.
Okay.
Jagannath Temple, Jagannath Temple, and House of Bhakti Yoga because this is between coaching center and temple.
Okay.
Maison du Bhakti Yoga. House.
Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Mandir.
Tonight.
In the years before, Srila Gurudev told us, actually many different temples wanted to keep our Thakurji with them. And Sudevi told Gurudev, because it was difficult for us to travel with
And
them.
I was worried about seva aparad. You know, when you travel, you don't have a standard. You have to just, you know, you can't do artis, so many things. So I thought maybe Thakurji want to go and to live in a mandir, because he did pran pratishta of them. And so I thought maybe they want proper care. So I asked our Gurudev, do they want to go to one of those temples? And he said, no. They want to travel the world with you and see their devotees all around the world. So that's why they're here. And he told me the main thing is that they shouldn't fast. He said, don't worry about all the other things if you can't do it, but they should never be hungry. So he said to travel even with dried fruits and nuts, and as we're traveling, offer something as we're going.
He said, as you eat, they should eat. But of course, them first. Okay, are we ready to begin?
Yes.
Before we begin, we have been to Mirpur many times before, and we've met with all of you previously. And we have come with many different mridanga players. This time, we have come with Gopinath. He is the son of Sudevi's younger brother, Gopal. So you met Gopal the first time we came. Gopal came with us. And then later on, he was married, and then he had children, and he is the first child of Gopal. He's going to turn 15 on Saturday.
The same, is that
Yeah,
also?
Same. So we're going to have a double birthday, Sarananda Prabhu and Gopinath. And we were in Vrindavan, and we were thinking, should we travel, should we not? We wanted to travel, but we weren't sure. But Gopinath, he was practicing mridanga every day, and he said, I want to tour with Sudevi and Kishori. And so his father, Gopal, called us. You know, my son's really excited to travel. Is this really going to happen? And then Sudevi's like, yes, we will do it. And then he began practicing more every day for hours and hours. He's only been playing mridanga for 1.5 years, but he's rapidly improved. So,
Samskar.
yes, samskar. So anyway, we also feel deep gratitude to him for bringing us out and engaging us in our seva. Okay, so we will start with Mangalacharan. That's page 1. Calling for the mercy, the grace, the blessings, and the sidelong glances of our beloved Srila Gurudev, our beloved Srila Prabhupada, our Rupananda Gauriya Guru Bhagda, Pratik Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu, Prem Purushottam Sachinandan Gaura Hari, going all the way back to the original Guru, who is Krishna himself, and his Guru of Prem. Do you know who Krishna's Guru of Prem is?
Radha.
Srimati Radha. So you can find it on page 1. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sadhjatam Sahagana Raghunathamritam Tam Sajeevam Sadvekam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vipansha Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Shri Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Namine Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Odaya Madhurya Gunaishayukam Varam Vadenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tam Shirasam Namami Tidam Vinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Pada Bhakti Praditi Chaitanya Lila Krita Sarasam Narayanam Tam Satatam Prapadye Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyapati Paschatyajeshakarine Namo Vishnupadaya Gaura Preshaya Bhutale Shri Shri Bhakti Pragyana Keshavari Namine Satimarakyacharitraya Swashritanam Chaparine Jivaduke Sadarpaya Shri Rama Premadayine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshamanavi Devi Daikaya Kripambaye Krishna Sambandha Vidyana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Namostute, Namaste Gauravani, Shri Murtaye Napariye, Rupanugravirupapa, Siddhanta Dvantahariye, Namo Gaura Kishoraya, Sakshat Vairagyamurtaye, Vipralambhara Sambhute, Padambujayate Namaha, Namo Bhakti Vinodaya, Satchidanandamine, Gaura Shakti Swarupaya, Rupanugavarayate, Gaura Virbhava Bhume Swan, Nirveshta Janapriya, Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannatha Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namne Gaura Krishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho, Dinabandho Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanusute Devi, Pranamami Haripriye, Jagatam Surato Pango, Mama Nammate Gati, Vatsarvasvatam Gojo, Radha Madanamo Hano, Tiryavrindaranya Kalpakumadam, Srimadratnakara Sinhasanasto, Shri Shri Radha Shri Govinda Devo, Krishna Nidhi Sevyamano Smarami, Shri Mandra Sarasaramhi, Vanshimata Tatasitaha, Karshane Dusvanai Gopin, Gopinatha Shri Estunaha, Vrindaye Tulasi Devyaye, Viraye Keshavasya Cha, Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi, Satyavate Namo Namaha. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam, Bhaktarupa Swarupakam, Bhaktaranam Bhaktakyam, Namami Bhakta Shaktikam, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srinivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Gurudev Kripa Karke.
Page 360 in this book, or in the Hindi section near the end.
Il est en français aussi. Voilà.
Il est dans le livre en français.
Ouais, il est dans le livre en français. Page 14. Non, c'est pas ça.
Vous voulez petit pas coloqué?
Many, many years ago, when we were in England, in a place called Wellow with our Gurudev, we went to the place where he was staying and we wanted to hear some Hari Katha. So we went there with harmonium, mridanga, kartal, wanting to do some kirtan and hear. But Brajanath Prabhu, our Gurudev's secretary, he opened the door and he said, "Oh, today Gurudev is in a meeting with very big people, so there will be no Hari Katha." And we said, "Okay, but can we just come in and do some bhajans?" And he said, "Yes, of course, come." So we went into the room where the Thakurji was. And we knew that Gurudev was in the room right above where we were. And I told the devotees, I said, "Let's sing so loudly this Gurudev Kripa Karake that Gurudev will have to come down." So all of us started to sing this bhajan. And instead of singing toward a picture of Gurudev, we were all singing toward the ceiling, really loud. And halfway through this bhajan, we looked over and our Gurudev was walking down the stairs looking at us. And he was holding the railing with two hands. So you know, he used to hold Madhav Maharaj or Brajanath Prabhu when he would walk. But this time he was coming down the stairs one step at a time like this, looking at us. And we got so excited. And so then Gurudev, he sat in front of us and we continued singing this to him. And when we were done, he asked one devotee, "Oh, do you know the meaning of this?" And so she closed her book and began to tell Gurudev this beautiful bhajan, but from her heart. And then Gurudev began to explain how we should sing this. He said, "Oh, I want..." This bhajan, by the way, was written for our Gurudev. So he wouldn't normally change anything like this in any book or any song of the Acharyas. But he said, "I want that the girls, the ladies, should sing in their gender. Instead of saying, you know, I am your das, say dasi. And instead of akela, akeli." He said this. And then he started to tell a little bit of Hari Katha. And then Brajanath Prabhu came with a little microphone wanting to record what he said. And Gurudev said, "Oh, go back to your big meeting. Nothing is happening here." And we were all like smiling. And then Gurudev went to go back to the meeting and I said, "Srila Gurudev, thank you so much for coming down." And he said, "Oh, I had to. You called me." And this is really the meditation when we're doing bhajans and kirtan. We're not calling just into the ether, singing a sweet tune, or bringing back a memory of when we did sit in front of our Gurudev or any Vaishnava. The mood is that we're calling them to make an appearance. And they're transcendental personalities, whether they're upstairs, whether they're in another country, or whether they're in Goloka Vrindavan. They are transcendental. And so we're calling to them, begging them for their mercy and their grace. And so really it's a very serious undertaking. Sometimes devotees or guests sometimes think, "Oh, this is just like the music, you know, to welcome everybody to come in and we do a little music and then the real thing begins." But actually, these are the prayers, the bhajan of our acharyas. And we're trying to sing in their own words. Why? Our Guru Maharaj said, because Krishna remembers these bhajans. "Oh, my Narottam sang that for me. Who is singing it now? Oh, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he sang that. And now look at this little one. They're trying to sing the same song to me." And then Krishna becomes somewhat attractive because these prayers are written and called out in prem of their bhaktas. So it's a very serious, beautiful undertaking, and we always like to try to keep that mood very carefully. Don't talk a lot during the bhajans. Try to keep it only necessary, keep it grave, because for Krishna to manifest in any which way when we're chanting Hare Krishna, first we have to go through this sequence. First going to Gurudev, then Vaishnavas, then Nityananda Prabhu, then Mahaprabhu, and we go in Kram, we go in a sequence, and finally we call out Hare Krishna, hoping that by their mercy, Krishna will manifest. Yeah, everybody's sitting there. Yeah.
Qui c'est qui veut une traduction en simultané en même temps? Venez vous regrouper ici. Ça va aussi, il va
Gurudev kripa karke mujhko apna leना Krishna Before we continue, we just want to apologize. Sudevi had lost her voice from allergies in Sardinia, and those allergens continued to affect her. And in the last place, it was even worse. She got asthma from the allergens, and so she's trying, but she might not be able to lead as much as usual.
Or even repeat.
Oh, hey Vaishnava Thakur, Dayar Sagar.
Hare Krishna.
It's page 39 in this book.
Not so many devotees.
Oh, okay.
We are using French book.
Okay, so anyone can call out in the French book.
Yeah.
His phone.
Tu connais pas l'application?
Si, si. Ah. Je suis un entier.
Celle-ci, elle n'est pas actualisée, mais je peux pas la supprimer parce que
Hare
sinon je peux pas la
Krishna.
changer.
Vaishnava Thakura Dayar Sagar Vedase Karuna
Leur Gora Arti sera à 20h, ils ont demandé que ça soit un peu différent.
This bhajan is extremely important, and for me especially, it has very, very deep meaning. I remember once hearing from Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj something that was quite astonishing. He said, you can chant Hare Krishna for lakhs and lakhs of births without proper Vaishnava association, and gradually you can still glide down to hell. And I was thinking, how is this possible? If I'm chanting Hare Krishna, then I'm going to go to hell? And then he began to explain it. Ekaki amar nahi pai bal harinam sankirtane. On my own, I have no strength even to chant Harinam. Does anyone know what the result of chanting Nam Aparad is? What is the result of Nam Aparad? The increase of the desire for and the attainment of Kanaka, Kamani, and Pratishta. Kanaka means material wealth. Kamani means sense gratification. And Pratishta means name, fame, position, power, pride. If I do not take shelter of any pure Vaishnava, then on my own, without pure Nam manifesting in my heart, all of these other things will manifest, and I will give up the name, and I will begin to run after these material attachments and attractions. So once I asked my Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, when we hear this verse, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Harer Nam, Eva Kevalam, I always thought it was by my chanting. It is the only way to attain perfection, my chanting of Hari Nam. But then I understood this principle that actually my chanting of Hari Nam is Nam Aparad. So how can Nam Aparad bring me perfection? So I asked him, whose chanting is this? This verse referring to? Is it my chanting of the name, or is it the pure devotees' chanting of the name? And my Gurudev said, it is both. He said, first, Shravanam, hearing from the pure devotee, and then Kirtanam. We also have something to do. And then afterward I read from Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, unless we hear from Ashray Vigraha, the Kirtan from Ashray Vigraha, that means the pure Kirtan emanating from the mouth of the pure devotee, we will not be able to awaken our mood of loving service to Krishna. So it is not that we should not chant Harinam, but also we must always be under guidance. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Tumi Kripa Kori, please give me your mercy. Shraddha Bindudiya, give me just one drop of faith. And ordinarily we think faith is something that is so easy. Yeah, I believe in Krishna. But according to those who know the meaning of Shraddha, Hare Krishna. Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kohe Sudrida Nishchoy Krishna Bhakti Koile Sarva Karma Kritovar. This is the meaning of the word Shraddha from those who know it. Vishwas Kohi means those who understand it. We should be careful not to superimpose our own material definitions onto these words. What our acharyas have told us, we accept these understandings of these words. Not my own understanding through my own research of Sanskrit or anything else, but what we have received from our Guru Varga and acharyas. What they have given, then we can understand. Krishna Bhakti Koile Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. Simply by engaging in all of the processes of bhakti, all other obligations are already taken care of. They're done. There's no need to worry about or do anything else. No more obligations. As we travel, we listen to a lot of lectures of Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, and he would always say, nothing to do, Baba, nothing to do. This is the meaning of Shraddha, meaning firm conviction, that simply by engaging in the process of bhakti, I don't need to do anything else. That automatically everything is taken care of. And this is a very difficult thing to understand or accept from someone maybe who has not experienced it. But we see our Guru Varga. Look at Srila Prabhupada. How much money did he have when he went from India to America the first time? He got free passage on a boat. They didn't want to give it to him. They gave him the captain's room. He had nothing really to eat, but he managed something. He brought some puffed rice and some dried chickpeas. You know these dried chickpeas that you give to the monkeys in Seva Kunj? They last for a long time. He had this and 42 rupees. no one ever considered if he could change that 42 rupees to dollars. And the first night he arrived in America, they let him take a shower at that place and they put him in the youth hostel. Right immediately, he stayed in the youth hostel. But he had firm faith in his Gurudev and firm faith in Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And with that firm faith, with that Shraddha, everything was managed. Krishna managed everything. Because he said, I have a strong desire that this will happen. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj translated the bhajan of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Boro Kripa, no, Krishna Taba Punya Habe Bhai, E Punya Kurive Jave Radha Rani Kushi Habe, Dhruva Ati Bodhi Tomatai. When we read it, we will see only the direct translation. But Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj is saying that our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is telling Krishna, if you want to attain your perfection, if you want to be happy, Dhruva Ati Bodhi Tomatai. What is that? That Radharani will be happy with you. Radharani Kushi Habe. Then you will certainly help me in my endeavor. Almost like a challenge. Oh, brother Krishna, if you want to be happy and attain your perfection of receiving the mercy and grace of Radharani, then you will certainly help me in my endeavor. My Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, has given the order that I should bring this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu around the world. So he starts with this. And then of course, he ends with the most pleading mood, begging, Krishna, please be merciful, please help me. Make me dance as you like. And that's in the next bhajan. Boro kripa koile Krishna adhamira prati. Nachao, nachao, prabhu nachao. So if we take shelter of those who have this mood, this is something we learned from Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj. He spoke that faith is not something that we conjure up from inside of us. But faith is Paramartik Shraddha, or transcendental Shraddha, is necessarily the manifestation of association with those who have it. In other words, by their association, that mood will ignite in the heart. Same with humility. It is not something that we concoct, but by being in the association of truly great personalities, then we cannot be proud in front of them. In front of Srila Prabhupada, in front of our Gurudevs, what kind of pride can we have? Oh, I'm so great. We feel very small in front of them. Maybe in front of each other, we can have some ego, but in front of them, we are nothing. So he said, being in front of personalities like our Guru Varga, then naturally humility will begin to develop. In the same way, being in front of these personalities and seeing their nature, then their nature will gradually come to us. That is why we pray to Gurudev and Vaishnavas. Take my Atma and make it like you. Koromore Atma Sat. Make me like you. Actually, our Gurudev said it means make me yours. It means make me yours. So, in this bhajan, on my own I have no strength even to chant Harinam. I require help to be able to develop the greed necessary to begin to pray, to serve Harinam Prabhu. Actually, our Gurudev said, I have never chanted anything. He said, I serve, I do seva to Harinam Prabhu. He said, I've never eaten anything. I do seva to Mahaprasad. So there's a big difference between the pure Vaishnava's approach to Harinam and Prasad and our approach to Harinam and Prasad. We may approach Thakurji or kirtan or prasad because we like it. But bhakti is not really about what we like. Bhakti is about what is pleasing to Krishna for his happiness, for his pleasure, and for his benefit. Does anyone know the verse? Anya vidashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavritam anukulena krishnanushilanam bhaktir uttama. Really, this verse is specifically showing Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. What is favorable for Krishna? What is exclusively for him, for his happiness, pleasure, and benefit. And the first two lines are telling us what is not bhakti. So just on that principle alone, how can I develop that mood? By associating with those who have that mood. Then when we begin to chant, something will change. Instead of approaching kirtan for our pleasure or prasadam for our pleasure, that is a difficult one. We just came from Italy. Oh. We say pizza and spaghettata and this and that. And here, I don't know, but everyone loves prasadam. But do we love prasadam because we want to enjoy it? Or do we love prasadam because it is Krishna's mercy in the form of food? And we want to serve Mahaprasad. So the approach will change when we associate with pure devotees.
Why not both? No, I was just wondering, why not both?
If our intention is to enjoy, then it cannot be considered bhakti. And if enjoyment comes as an automatic effect, if that disturbs our mood of service to Krishna, then even that enjoyment will be rejectable. Many devotees have experienced prem while serving Krishna, and that prem makes them fall unconscious, and then their seva stops. And then they begin to curse the bhav, the ashtasattvic bhav of unconsciousness due to prem, due to ecstasy. Damn that ecstasy which stopped me from my service. Let me continue to serve, but I don't want this if my seva is stopped. So if our intention has even one slight bit of desire for my own pleasure, then it is not pure bhakti. But if it is exclusively for Krishna's pleasure, then automatically he will give you happiness and bliss and pleasure. This will be the effect, but this is not our desire or intention, if it is pure bhakti. Yes.
There was once this... I'm there. You can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was once this person. We used to have a 300-acre farm in the Fiji Islands. And we had many people working for us. And we talked to them a lot about Bhakti and a lot about Gurudev. And so one year, one of the persons, the foreman of the workers who were working on the farm, he came across this island to come in to meet our Gurudev. It was like a 24-hour ship. And he wanted to meet our Gurudev. So when he arrived, we brought him to Gurudev's room. And he asked Gurudev for Harinam. And then he quoted the shloka of Haridas Thakur saying, "You can cut my body into millions of pieces, but I can never give up the chanting of Harinam." Our Gurudev looked at him and he said, "Oh, can you do this? Can you do?" And I don't know if he thought it was a test, but he said, "Yes." And Gurudev laughed and he said, "No, you cannot." And then he told his story. He said, once there was a young man, and he had an arranged marriage. Never before had he seen his bride, but only on the day of their wedding, he saw her for the first time. 3 months into their marriage, this newly married girl became very sick. And so her husband began to bring her to all kinds of doctors, but they couldn't find any cure. After some time, he had to quit his job to stay home and take care of her. And then very soon he had no money. Our Gurudev said he became a beggar in the street and began to call out, "Please help me, help me. My wife is going to die, help me." And then our Gurudev said, 3 months previously, this girl could have died and he wouldn't have cared. He wouldn't have known. It wouldn't have mattered to him. But now because Sambandha, relationship is there, he is willing to become a beggar in the street for her. He said, when you have relationship, Sambandha with Harinam like this, then you will also be willing to become a beggar in the street for Guru and Krishna. And then he gave him Harinam.
If at any time you have any questions about what we're speaking,
Or comments and corrections from our senior Vaishnavas.
we have senior Vaishnavas in the room those who have received initiation from Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and those who have received initiation from Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, those who have taken shelter of the path of bhakti way before us, when we first arrived, Jivadasi, as she said, she joined in 1974. And I said, oh, I was born in 1974. I also joined in 74, but I had zero qualifications, no teeth, nothing. I was only crying as a baby. But she joined the path of bhakti and Srila Prabhupada's movement in 1974. So many very senior Vaishnavas are here, so many who have had so much association with Vaishnavas. So if you would also feel the necessity to adjust or correct us, we are very happy to be adjusted or corrected, as long as it is in line with Tattva, Siddhanta, and Guru and Vaishnavas. Yes, Prabhu?
You said about that it is true that humility, humbleness, and Shraddha, it's coming or it's helping us if we are associated with high-class devotees. But at the same time, we have to know that humility and Shraddha is inherent to the soul.
Yes.
The soul is possessing this quality, but it is just like a jewel under dust. But then when you take the jewel out of the dust, cleaning it, then
Swarupena Shabdat.
in this way, the soul has humility, has Shraddha, has so many things. But then it is with the help of this great personality that it's cleaning up. It is Chetodarpanam Janam.
Yes. Thank you.
But it belongs to the soul.
This is a very important point Prabhu is making. Our Gurudev said that Guru does not give you anything new. He only uncovers. He mentioned under the dust. He uncovers what we already are. And this is confirmed in the Vedanta Sutra, Swarupena Shabdat. Swarup is present there, and with that, all of the qualities are also inherent. But Gurudev uncovers that Maya, uncovers that and allows, by association, awakens what nature we have. That is why in that verse, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Korye Udoy. Udoy means to awaken. To awaken what is inside by Shravan and Kirtan. So hearing from the Kirtan, Shravan and Kirtan of the pure Vaishnavas, this is awakening us, and then also by doing our Kirtan. Like I said, which one do we do? Gurudev said both, hearing and chanting. So Gurudev is working to clean, and we also must assist and follow. This is Cheto Darpana Marjano, as Prabhuji just said. Both are necessary. And those qualities are inherent within us, but something is required to awaken them. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, referring to one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, compared us to wood. Wet wood. Wet wood is very difficult to catch on fire. But if that wet wood is placed next to burning wood, then gradually it begins to dry up. All of those impurities come out. And then when the time is right, it ignites and it becomes like the other one. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada was mentioning this in terms of association with pure devotees and Diksha, that by that association, then gradually our own intrinsic inherent nature of being on fire in love for Krishna will also awaken. Thank you for sharing. So now we will call out to Rupa Goswami Pad for his mercy. Yang Kalirupa Sharira Nandharata.
I do see some have this book, so it's 47 in this little book.
Whenever we would go to Ter Kadamba, at the foothills, at the feet of the mountain in Nandagaon, our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj would request Krishna Das Prabhu or anyone else. Once he requested me to sing this bhajan, Yang Kalirupa. He was very fond of it. Mahani Just very quickly before we go to the next bhajan. Our lineage is known as Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga. And our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj made it very clear what the definition of Rupanuga is. He said those who are following the path of sadhana that Srila Rupa Goswami followed. And those who are also following the Siddha Seva that Sri Rupa Manjari is doing in her service to Radha and Krishna. They are known as Rupanuga. Rupanuga is very, very high. It is a very refined aspect of Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti means all of that bhakti which is included within the moods of the Brajabasi's love and affection for Krishna. That includes the moods of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba, the moods of all of the cowherd boys, their love and affection for Krishna, the moods of the cows and the bumblebees and the trees and Yamuna and everything that is conscious in Braj, which is everything. The moods of the gopis, the moods of Srimati Radhika, all is spontaneous, loving service to Krishna. And following in the line or the mood of any one of them, this would be called Raga Anuga or Ragatmika Anugatya. That is the meaning of Raga Anuga. Many people have understood this word Raga Anuga to mean spontaneous, but we take that word and we think that it means that I will just do whatever I want. So we can smoke a joint and then do kirtan because it's spontaneous bhakti, prabhu. I know many, many people who do this. And this is not the meaning of spontaneous bhakti. Technically, it is ragatmika anugatya. This is the meaning of raganuga. To be under the guidance of an eternal associate of Krishna in Braj. And under their guidance, very carefully awaken the bhakti which is inherent within our heart toward Krishna. So by their guidance, they allow us to flow according to our nature. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada defined independence like this. What we think is independence in this material world is not actually independence. Oh, I'm free to do whatever I want. Actually, this idea is being under the covering of Mahamaya, then we are being played by the material energy. Goodness, passion, and ignorance are pulling us this way and that way, under the control of Mahamaya. But this is not independence. He said independence means to align with our nature and flow toward Krishna, because that is the nature of all souls. So Ragatmika Anugatya is the meaning of Raganuga Bhakti. And this is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. You see, Gauranga is here. Our Gurudev did Pran Pratishtha, installation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One arm is up, the other is down. The one arm up represents Prem Ras Niryash Kurite Ashvadam. Tasting that Krishna Prem, the very special flavor of Krishna Prem that Srimati Radhika is tasting for Krishna. And the other hand represents giving something special to this world. Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Korite Pracharam. So he was preaching to this world. Loke means here in this world. And Pracharan means to preach. So Korite is, he was preaching to this world a very particular path. And that is Raga Marga Bhakti, or the path of spontaneous loving affection to Krishna, which is in the wake or in the mood of the Brajabasi's love and affection for Krishna. But the specific flavor which has come down to us through our Guru Varga, through Srila Rupa Goswami, the specific flavor of Raganuga Bhakti is known as Rupa Anuga Bhakti. So it would be in the Anugatya of Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami says in the 8th verse of Upanishadamrita, which is the essence of all advice. Iti Upadesha Saram. Tishtan Braje Tad Anuragi Jannanugami. Within that essence of all advice, he says, always residing in Braj under the guidance of an eternal associate of Krishna. And in their association, under their guidance, doing what? Tanama, Rupa, Charita, Adi, Sukirtan. Doing Sukirtan, deep absorbed kirtan of Krishna's names, forms, qualities, pastimes, associates, and so forth. Remembering Krishna's pastimes throughout the entire day. It's easy to remember our own pastimes and the pastimes of others. If we do not remember what we have heard about Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then we will only be absorbed in thinking about ourselves and the faults of others, usually. So, smrityo, remembering, kramena, in sequence, rasana, and tasting within the mind all of the pastimes of Krishna. Residing at the feet of any Vaishnava, especially a Brajbasi, that place is not different from Vrindavan. If Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada is in, let's say, Italy, speaking, we have a choice to go there and hear his Harikatha or to go to Vrindavan without any guidance. Where is Vrindavan? Where the pure devotee is manifesting Krishna. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that wherever the pure devotee is, those mountains are Govardhan, the rivers are like Jamuna, the lakes are like Radha Kund and Shamakund. And because Krishna is saturating their heart, when they speak, they are giving Krishna. So it is always essential to be at the feet of pure devotees. Anuragi Jananugami Kalam Nayat. And to engage in all of these activities without cessation, without stopping. Constantly, always remembering, glorifying, chanting the names of Krishna, hearing Harikatha of Krishna. Then this is the essence of all advice, if we are under the guidance of any pure Vaishnava. So our Guru Varga, they are coming in the line of Rupa Goswami, and they have all told us the same thing that Narottam Das Thakur has said. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada, same or Sampada, same or Bhajana Pujan, same or Pranadhana, same or Abharana, same or Jivaner Jivan. This is the goal, the aspiration for all of those who are in this line of Rupa Goswami to attain even a particle of dust of the lotus feet of Sri Rupa. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada states this in his Upadeshavali, that the lotus feet of Sri Rupa are our most coveted asset and wealth. This is our hope and aspiration. So, I was just remembering that as we were calling out to Sri Rupa Goswami Pad. Now we will call out for the mercy of Nitai and Gauranga. Gauranga bolite have Pulaka Shri Hare Krishna. Page 86 in this book.
42.
Question for the translator. Am I speaking too quickly or is it okay?
It's okay.
Okay? Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Gauranga Bharite
Hare
नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय, श्री रघुनाथ जी की
Gurudev nous avait dit de chanter ce chant tous les jours. Gurudev told us to sing this song every day.
Really?
He liked us to sing it every day as well.
Yeah.
Yes, you have a question, Prabhu?
Non. Qui fait l'offrande?
Alors, l'artiste est un videur.
C'est plus tard.
C'est Manimati qui amènera le
C'est l'artiste aussi. L'offrande et l'artiste.
C'est toi qui fais le...
Krishna Deva Bhavantam
C'est
Vande.
Manimati. Qui est l'offrande.
Ça pourrait être quand même, l'offrande pourrait être quand même faite maintenant. Parce que s'il y a des gens qui veulent partir avant, ils ont du prashad. Sinon,
85.
Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. when I was singing this bhajan, I remembered something quite amazing. One day we went on parikrama, Brajmandal parikrama, and it was very, very hot day and dry. And the Harikatha that was going on was very long, very, very long. And we arrived back after dark. It was a 12-hour bus day. And our Gurudev was sitting there at Giridhari Gauriyamat at Govardhan on his Vyas Asan. And he was looking at was checking the time. Why are you so late? What took so long? I've been waiting here for more than an hour, he said. And one devotee, I won't tell you her name, but you can all figure it out. Gurudev, it's too hot. Gurudev, it's too dusty. She said it was too much dust and it was too hot. And really it was so dusty, all the men's shikas were like sticking out straight, and all the ladies' hair was like this. It was a long, hot, and dusty day. And our lungs were also full of dust, and our eyes, and it was very difficult to breathe. So we were all, we came back completely exhausted. But because she complained like that, our Gurudev waited till everyone came. So all 700 devotees crowded into the temple room. And he said, all of the greatest personalities, Brahma, Lord Shiva himself, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Uddhava, they're all praying for even one drop, one particle of this dust. One particle. It is so difficult for them to attain. Here it is said, Yadyapi samadhishu vidhir api pashyati natava nakhagra marichin. Even Brahma, in complete samadhi trance, cannot even catch one glimpse of a ray of effulgence emanating from the toenails of Krishna. Brahma. So our Gurudev said about this dust that all of the greatest personalities are begging for even one particle of it. But it is so difficult for them to attain. He said, but I see that you are all the most fortunate persons in all of creation. Not only are you completely covered on the outside, you're also completely covered on the inside. So you are so fortunate. And when he spoke that, it was like giving water to plants that had been in the sun all day, little ones. We were all like this. And he spoke that and we all woke up and we were like, we're so fortunate. And then he gave 1.5 hours of Harikatha. Normally he would tell us, go wash your clothes, take a shower. But this time he spoke about all of the places we went to. And so this is something amazing to consider. That it is difficult, even for great personalities, in deep trance and meditation, to capture Paramatma within the core of their heart. What to speak of Sriman Narayan? What to speak of Dwarkadish or Mathuresh Krishna? What to speak of Braja Krishna? It is not so easy. It is not such a cheap thing to attain. But somehow or other, those personalities who are carrying that dust are coming to us and bathing us in it. That means Arupanuga Guru Varga. They are coming from Vrindavan with that Harikatha and showering us with it, bathing us inside and outside. Who was it? Pujapad Maharaj. He said, what is kirtan? He said, when you hear and hear and hear Harikatha, more and more, and it begins to fill up and fill up and fill up. And then when it begins to spill out, this is kirtan. So they've given us so much Harikatha. This Harikatha is really not different from Krishna himself. When we chant in this prayer, Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakti Sadhana, there it says, Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoite. Or as Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj said, Guru makes Krishna appear in your heart. By giving us Krishna, Divyam Jnanam, transcendental knowledge, they manifest that in our hearts by their mercy, out of compassion for us. When our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj first went to 26 2nd Avenue in New York in 1996, he was starting to speak about the glories of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And after a few minutes, he began to weep and cry, seeing what he had done everywhere. And about almost 2 minutes, he was crying. Tears were pouring down his face, and he could not speak. His voice was choked up. And then you could see in the video, he's wiping his tears. Then he said, so, I think that Srimati Radhika has called her maidservant, Nayana Mani Manjari. That here, I am giving you so many jewels to distribute. You should give these to your maidservant to distribute everywhere. What are these jewels? This is the seed of bhakti, to awaken loving devotion to Krishna. So this dust is no ordinary dust. This is chintamani. Chinta means thought, and money means jewel. Whatever you think can manifest. And if we think of service to Krishna, this can also manifest. Especially receiving the shelter in the form of Harikatha and also seva of Vaishnavas. Guru and Vaishnava, two different aspects, but really they are Vaishnava. Serving the Vaishnavas, and one of the best sevas is to hear their Harikatha, follow those instructions and implement it in our life. Sometimes we think seva means to cook in the kitchen or to mop the floor. Harinam, no, we need to do seva. Actually, Harinam is seva. Harikatha is seva. Thakurji seva is seva. Vaishnava seva is seva. They're all seva. We should not limit one or over the other. They're all important. All important. Although sometimes our Guru Varga gives preference for us fallen jivas that we must do a lot of hard work now to build up the spiritual merit so that one day we can actually be able to understand the Harikatha. Why? As Prahlad Maharaj told his father, Hiranyakashipu, unless one smears their body in the dust of the lotus feet of pure devotees, they will never be able to understand transcendental subject matter. He said, without having abhishek of the dust of the feet of the pure devotees, we cannot understand transcendental subject matter. And our Gurudev has explained that dust has many meanings. Dust can mean those who are following Gurudev, Sri Guru, to have their association. Because what are they? They are keeping themselves very tightly at the lotus feet of Guru. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Krishna, Stita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. Please keep me like a particle of dust at your lotus feet. So those who are serving Guru and Vaishnava, they're like this dust. To associate with them, this is also to receive the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas. It is also the physical foot dust. But sometimes, when we were on parikrama, our Gurudev would be offering pranam to Govardhan or anywhere. And as he was offering his pranam, people would be touching his feet. But this is also a disturbance, rasabhas. He's offering himself and someone is grabbing the dust from his feet. It creates a little bit of a complication. One time he said, only once a day is enough. Once a day is enough. You don't need to keep doing that. But dust has so many different meanings. Especially for us, it means receiving the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas in the form of their Harikatha. Because what is pervading their heart? Krishna. And when they are speaking, they're giving Krishna. When someone like me speaks Harikatha, I have not realized my relationship with Krishna, so it won't have that same effect. When a pure devotee is speaking of Krishna, it is actually Krishna that they are giving. Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite paro, tomara shakti aache. Oh Vaishnava, Krishna is yours. They own Krishna. Why? Because of their love and affection. He becomes completely bound by them. And because they own him, they have him, they can give Krishna. And they don't have anything else to give. They don't have any material things. I remember once we were in Australia and my Gurudev said, oh, I want that you will travel with me everywhere. And I pointed to my pockets and I said, but we have no money. And then he pointed to his pockets and he said, I have no money either, but I'm traveling everywhere. So completely devoted to Krishna, when they speak about Krishna, they are giving Krishna in the form of Harikatha. This is considered the foot dust of the Vaishnavas. In other words, this is their mercy. And they're giving these jewels which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give, what Rupa Goswami came to give, what all of our Guru Varga came to give. They are giving those very valuable jewels to us. Despite our disqualification, am I qualified? I must be. Otherwise they wouldn't give it. There must be something inside, otherwise they wouldn't waste their time. Why are they in their 70s and 80s and 90s flying around the world and going from place to place to place, enduring heart attacks and so many physical difficulties to try to give us something if we don't have the capacity to be able to utilize it? So we must have some adhikar inside that they can see. They don't want to waste their time. This is their service to Krishna, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to somehow or other awaken even one jiva to its eternal nature in loving service to Krishna. So they travel from place to place for the benefit of everyone, really to awaken the most essential, important thing. That thing that no one can say we don't have qualification for. Lolyam. You know about Lolyam? Krishna Bhakti Rasabhavitamati Kriyatam Yadikitopi Labhyate Tatra Lolyam Api Mulyam Ekalam Janma Koti Shukratayana Labhyate. It's something that we cannot awaken even by doing millions of lifetimes of good things. Giving free food to the poor people, giving free clothing, building hospitals and free eye clinics and all philanthropic works. This will not give us the qualification for attaining Krishna Bhakti Rasa. There's only one qualification. That is greed. The intense, greedy desire to taste loving service to Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada, our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has very kindly defined it. He has added one line, so we understand what it means. Wherever it can be had, it must be purchased without delay. Wherever one can awaken this greed of transcendental loving service to Krishna. This is the most essential thing. One time our Gurudev's godbrother, Srila Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Maharaj, said, "Oh, they're not qualified for greed." And Gurudev said, "How can you say that? How can you define who is qualified for greed?" Our Gurudev said, even if you are old and you have no teeth and you're very ugly, still, if you desire to marry Princess Diana, no one can stop your desire. They can't say, "Oh, you're not qualified to think about this." If he desires it, he desires it. And no one can take that from him. And then our Gurudev would tell, is a dog qualified for rasamalai? He has no pockets, no money, he cannot purchase it from the shop. But if you've ever been to Vrindavan, the dogs know how to do Dandavat Pranam. Have you seen them? Outside the sweet shop. 2 arms forward, their feet all the way back, and they're bowing their head again and again like this. At the sweet shop, to anyone who enters. And they go in, they get one bowl of rasamalai, and they eat that, and the dog's just looking. Please, just give me 1 drop. 1 drop. Right, we say that? Shraddha Bindu Diya. 1 drop. Bindu means drop. He's only begging. He has so much desire, so much greed, but no qualification. And yet he has desire. And then?
And he has desire for rasa.
Yes.
Malai.
He wants that. And then when the man is finished, he throws his bowl out into the street. And that dog so happily takes that 1 drop. What is the dog's qualification? Only to desire. So maybe we don't have a qualification. We have an intrinsic nature, but what is my qualification now? And yet, our Gurudev, our Vaishnava Acharyas, they come here to inspire something within us. What do? In front of us, they are tasting Krishna Bhakti Rasa. Have you ever seen our Gurudev speak about Damodar Leela? Every year for 50 years, he's speaking the same Damodar Lila. But all of those who were with him said, it's different every time. And when he speaks about it, it's like he has never seen it, heard it, or spoken about it before. He becomes almost like a child, hearing it for the first time. He becomes so excited, his eyes open wide, and he's laughing and crying and experiencing it in front of us. This amazing thing, and we all just are looking, I just want one drop of what you are experiencing. Somehow or other, we can desire to attain or to taste even one drop. And this is the mercy of the pure devotees, to inspire a greed that I want to taste that kind of loving service to Krishna, by which it is ever fresh and increasingly exciting. I want to taste what you are experiencing. This is what our Guru Varga does for us. They come here to inspire that mood and to simultaneously remove that covering of Maya, so that what is inside can awaken. So this greed is the most essential thing. On Ekadashi we will sing Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu. But there it says, Bhakata Seva Paramasiddhi Prema Latikara Mood. Of the awakening of this greed. This greed is awakened in the association of and service of Vaishnavas. Real Vaishnavas, pure Vaishnavas. By their association, by their Harikatha, and especially by serving them. Not in terms of what I want to do, but in terms of what is beneficial for them. Srila Gurudev said we should apply the definition of Anyabhilashita Shunyam first and foremost at the feet of Gurudev. What is for Gurudev's benefit? What is for Gurudev's happiness? How can I serve? Gurudev would say, if Gurudev asks for water, don't run and get an ice cold lassi. Maybe he has a cold. If I like the lassi but he only wants water, then I should do what is beneficial for him, not what I think is best for me. So service is what is pleasing and beneficial for the object of seva. So by serving the Vaishnavas, their hearts will melt and something will come of it. An allotment of Bhakti Sukriti will manifest. And the more Bhakti Sukriti that piles up inside of us, then the foundation, the platform will enable us to hear and process, digest Harikatha. Can you tell what Gurudev said about Narahari Seva Vigraha in this
There was one devotee that was a very great disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And his name was Narahari Seva Vigraha. And our Gurudev actually met him and saw him. He actually lived with Param Gurudev. So at one time he became very, very ill. He became so sick. And he was going to many doctors, but no one could cure him. He couldn't hold any food down. Anything he would take, he would immediately throw that up. And so they realized he's going to die. He won't be able to maintain this body. So Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pradyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he went to Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and he asked him, please, may I take him to an Ayurvedic doctor in West Bengal or something, somewhere like that. He said, he's a very good Ayurvedic doctor, I think he can help. And as a last resort, they took him. When the Ayurvedic doctor saw him, and he saw the circumstance in front of him, he gave a prescription. He said, I want that you should give him 2 tablespoons of honey a day. Ghee a day. And everyone was looking like, what is this? He can't even hold down a spoon of water. How can he take 2 tablespoons of ghee? And the doctor said, oh, I know what you're thinking. He'll throw it up. He said, but my thought is this, that when he takes that ghee, yes, he will throw it up, but it will coat his stomach, going down and also coming back up. And slowly, slowly, he will begin to digest. And after some time, he will be able to eat again. He said after 3 days, he will start eating and drinking again. So Srila Param Gurudev saw that it worked. He vomited that up, but his stomach, his lining became somewhat fed and nourished and strong, and so he was able to take. So our Gurudev would say, You may not be qualified for the things I am telling you. One time he said, why am I giving all of this? Because you're qualified? He said, no. Because if I don't speak this, then one day it will be lost forever. He said, so I must speak these things. I must say them. And so he said, I know that after I tell you all of this, you will, this Harikatha, you will again go and vomit that up. Srila Prabhupada would say, like an elephant will go and take a bath in a crystal lake and will bathe itself. But then what does it do? It gets out and it throws dirt all over himself. So Gurudev was saying, I know you will vomit that up and you will take other things. But when you keep coming, taking association and hearing and taking it, after some time, you will be able to digest it and it will begin to stick. It will hold tight in your heart. And then all of those other things will have no room. One Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he said all of these other little things are like mushrooms, the things of this world, whether they are anarthas, whether they are attachments. He said they are like mushrooms. They have no root. Easily they can be picked up. And he said when you begin to associate with Vaishnavas, high-class Vaishnavas, when you hear their Hari Katha and Hari Kirtan, what will happen? He said all of that space in your heart that is full of junk, that junk is so light, it has no roots. It will immediately come out. And the weight of the Katha of Gurudev, the weight of truth, absolute truth, and Hari Katha will take its place and manifest in our hearts. He said, so we must continue to hear and to take association so that it can take root in our heart. I remember when our Srila Gurudev, when we first started going to hear from him in 1996, I remember sometimes devotees would ask me, oh, what did Srila Gurudev speak this morning? I wasn't able to attend. And for the life of me, I couldn't remember anything. I don't know, but it was really beautiful. And I laughed, and I remembered that it was sweet, but I couldn't remember. And then one time, Srila Gurudev himself told me, you should repeat what I spoke in the morning class. And I couldn't think of it. I couldn't remember, and I was so afraid. I said, oh, Gurudev, I'm too shy. I can't repeat it. He said, oh, something you should do. Repeat what I spoke. And then I thought I was intelligent. And I said, but Gurudev, everyone came to hear you speak. And Gurudev said, yes. But sometimes the father likes to hear the baby say goo goo gaga. And it was so beautiful because really that's what it is. I'm a baby trying to learn a language, trying to understand the context of what he's telling. And honestly, without the Vaishnavas, I wouldn't have been able to understand Gurudev. I remember when we first joined the Mat, like we grew up in ISKCON Gurukul, but going to Gurudev was like learning a whole new language. I didn't know the difference between a kund, a kunja. What is that? Raganuga, Ruba. There were so many other words and I had no idea what to do. But I remember when Gurudev would speak, I would watch all of the senior disciples, Subal Saka Prabhu, who is Sripad Ban Maharaj, Sudevi Didi. I would watch all of the seniors. And I would see that when Gurudev was telling something that seemed really normal, sometimes they would look at each other. All the seniors would be like, oh, did you hear? And I wouldn't write down what Gurudev was saying necessarily. I'm like, at this point, you looked at this person, and you both had an inside understanding. What was it? And so I remember going to different senior devotees and asking them, at this point, what was Gurudev saying? What did you hear? I heard Vacho Vegam Manasakrodava. I heard just don't eat too much, don't gossip. I heard this. And they were somehow hearing intimate, beautiful Hari Katha. And so I would learn, oh, that's how you listen. You take shelter of the Vaishnavas, those who have been there. You associate with them, and then you can hear something of what Gurudev is actually saying. But it took me a very long time of just being there and watching the Vaishnavas, but I had some greed for it. I wanted to know, what are you hearing? You're not hearing what I'm hearing. So then we began to learn how to hear. So Gurudev was saying that the more we hear, then it will begin to stick and we will be able to understand. And when we begin to understand, then a mood rises in our heart. Oh, I want to also serve like you. I want to do seva. I want to taste what you are tasting. I want to witness what you are witnessing. Then again, Koromore Atma Sata. Please take me and make me yours.
As Sudevi was speaking, I was just remembering Gauranga Bolite Habe, which we sang before. There, the second verse says, Ar kabe nitai chande korona hoibe. Sangsar vashanamor kabe tu chahabe. One time someone asked our Gurudev, you have Radha and Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Where is Nityananda Prabhu? And he said, Nityananda Prabhu manifests before you directly in the form of Sri Guru. Ar kabe nitai chandet karana haive. When, oh when will Nityananda Prabhu, or in this case, Guru Nityananda, when will he give me his mercy? Then sang saravashanamor kabe tu chahave. My entire sangsar, my repetition of birth, disease, old age, and death in this material world will become insignificant. There's one famous verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada would quote often. Most of us only know the last line. Padam padam yadvi padam natesham. That there is danger at every step. But this verse states that samashrita ye padapallavaplavam mahat pada punya yasho murare bhavam budir vatsa padam param padam. This third line says that the ocean of material existence will be made insignificant, like the amount of water in the hoof print of a calf. So by taking shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, Ar kabe nitai chandet koruna hoive. When, oh when will you give me your mercy? Then, sangsarabashanamor. My burning, blazing fire of material existence that I am undergoing will be made completely insignificant. Tucha habe. And then, by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, Vishaya charya kabe. When, oh when, by the mercy of Nitai, well, my desire to be the enjoyer, to try to taste everything of this material world, when will this be reduced? Vishaya charya kabe, shuddha have man. Then my mind will be able to become somewhat pure. By this, and by the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas, kabe hama heravo Shri Vrindavan. Then I will be able to begin to see or understand something of Vrindavan. And then immediately Narottam Das Thakur brings us under the shelter of Rupa and Raghunath. So Gurudev doesn't just keep us to himself. He also gives us under the care of Rupa and Raghunath. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not even keep Raghunath Das Goswami for himself. He gave Raghunath Das Goswami directly under the care of Swarup Damodar Goswami. So by their mercy, then we will be able to actually witness the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So all of our Guru Varga are praying for their mercy and their shelter by taking shelter of Nityananda Prabhu. First and foremost, by taking shelter of Guru and Vaishnavas. Ado Guru Parashray. First taking shelter of Gurudev. Then the Vaishnavas. Then our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga. Rupa Goswami, our 6 Goswamis. Especially when there is so much difficulty in our life. Meaning material desires. What does Raghunath Das Goswami state in Sri Manashiksha? When all of the dacoits are attacking us on the open road, if you're walking alone, I don't know in Mirpa, but maybe in Pari, at night down the wrong road, and then so many will come and attack you and take your wealth. At that time, what power do we have? On our own, we don't have any power. But he said, then we should call very loudly for the shelter of Swarup Damodar Goswami. Swarupam, Sri Rupam, for the mercy of Rupa Goswami. Sahagana, and his associates, Sri Sanatana Goswami, all of these personalities call them very loudly. They are the generals who will come and protect us from those who are attacking us. Who is attacking us? Lust, anger, greed, madness, envy, pride, all of these anarthas, which are unfavorable. They're always attacking us in some way, but if we call out to our Guru Varga and take shelter of them, then we can become free from these anarthas. It is so essential always to be in that mood. The speciality of the Baddha Jiva, us, is that we are the most infinitesimal particle in all of creation. Vibhina Angsa Jiva. It is so small that if you divide a hair by 10,000 times and then you divide that by 10,000 times, even if you look at atoms, it's smaller. And we are Vibhina Angsa, the most infinitesimal particle. But the speciality of the Vibhina Angsa Jiva is that by its nature, it must always be under shelter, under guidance. And this is very, very special and powerful for us. Because if we're feeling weak, that weakness comes either due to aparad, but especially that we're not under guidance or shelter of any Vaishnava. So holding on tightly. How does Srila Gauragovinda Maharaj say? Hold on to the lotus feet of Gurudev with leech-like tenacity. Do you know what leech is? Yes? That little black thing in the legs? You know, it sticks on and just sucks your blood, but
Sangshu in French.
yeah, that. He says you hold on and don't let go. Hold on to the feet of Gurudev like this and don't let go. So sometimes we hear from our Vaishnavas that we should take lessons from a dog how to be loyal. But even that is so high. Maybe I can become as loyal as a leech. Maybe one day. Sangshu. Maybe I can become like that. This is essential for us to always be under guidance. When our Gurudev would quote the verse Anyabhilashita Shunyam or Tannama Rupa Charitari Sukirtananu. In Anyabhilashita Shunyam, again it is said Anu, and in Tannama Rupa Charitari, 3 times it is said Anu. Our Gurudev said it means Anugatya, 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 always under guidance. Because the Baddha Jiva is so small, it is so weak, that on my own I don't have any strength. I must hold on. And by taking shelter of the pure Vaishnavas, by taking shelter of Sri Guru, then very easily we can attain to perfection.
Yes, I'll keep 5 minutes.
We just want to just tell one quick story and then Harinam and then Arti. We were told we could go a little later today. Once when we were in the Fiji Islands with Srila Gurudev, we waited and waited for him to come to Fiji. It was like a desert there, even though it was always tropical and rainy. It was horrible because we had no association. So Gurudev came, and he came for about 3 weeks. He was with us. And then one day, he was leaving. He was going to Australia. So we went to the airport with him, and somehow I was able to sit right in front of him at his feet. And many devotees were there, and he was speaking to so many. But I was just looking at Gurudev, and in my mind, I was chanting my new mantra. Please take me to Australia with you. Take me to Australia with you. Take me. Don't leave me here. Take me to Australia with you. And I had tears in my eyes. I never spoke it out loud. I was just sitting there begging, take me to Australia. And after about maybe 5-10 minutes, he was speaking. And then he just looked at me and he said, oh, I will take you to Goloka Vrindavan with me. And then I started crying and I said, do you promise? And he said, yes, I must. And then he said, but you have to hold my little finger and don't let go. And I said, I won't, Gurudev. And then he looked at me really seriously and he said, don't let go. And for me, it meant to follow him, his moods, his conceptions, what teachings he is giving us, our Guru Varga are giving, don't go away from that. Like a baby learning to walk. If they can hold on to the little finger, they're fine. The moment they let go, they fall. So hold on and don't let go.
So this point is extremely important and powerful for all of us. The moment I think that I can do it on my own, I don't need help, that means we're in a very dangerous place. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is saying, Gopi Bhaktu Padakamalayar Dasa Dasa Anudasa. And our Gurudev translated this Das Das Anudas as meaning, I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the last servant's foot dust. The foot dust of the very last servant. But this means always being under guidance with deep humility, taking shelter of Guru and Vaishnavas, then very easily our path to perfection is secured. So now we will call out. Okay. To Radha and Krishna for their mercy and shelter in the form of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Now it is time for Arti. Jai. Bolo Nitai Gauranga Jai Nitai Gauranga. Bolo Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga. Bolo Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga. Bolo Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga. Jayo Jayo Gaura Shande Arati Prasodha Jano Di Katamani Jagmano Jaganjanir Manalubha Gurangera Rati Shobha Jaganjanir Manalubha Gurangera Rati Shobha Manalobha Jagajane Manalobha Rakine nitai chan bame gadadharo Konikatiya deso shini vaso kshatradharo Konikatiya আছে গোরা চন্দ্র নরসিংহাসনে বসে আছে গোরা আরতি করে ব্রহ্মা আজকে বলনে আরতি করে হরি আদি গরি শ্যামর দুলায় সঞ্জয় মুকুন্দ বাসু গোসায়াদি গায় শঙ্খ বাজে ঝঙ্ক বাজে বাজে কর মধুরারি গঙ্গা বাজে পরমর থালা মধুর 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 বাজে শঙ্খ বাজে ঘণ্ট বাজে মধুর মধুর বাজে মধুর 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 বাজে হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল অমিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল গৌর হরি বল হরি বল বহু কোটি চন্দ্রজি বদন উজালো গল দেশে বনমালা করে ঝলমালা গল দেশে বনমালা শিব সুতনারদ প্রেমে গদ শিব তোরার সম্পদ ভক্তি जय जय राधा कृष्ण जुगल मेला जय जय राधा कृष्ण जुगल मेला आरती करो ललिता जी सखी मदन मोहन रूप भंग सुंदर
पीताम्बर श्रीभूषण शुद्ध मनोहार पीताम्बर अलंकृता माधव वने दक्षभानु कन्या नीलवक्षण गौरी रूपे मुदे धन्या अनन्य विभय अलंकार गोरे हरि मन मोहन बदन विशाखादी सखी गंगा नारायणा प्रिय नर्म सखी गत श्यामर दुलार प्रिय नर्म श्यामर दुलारे श्यामर दुलारे प्रिय नर्म सखी गत श्यामर दुलारे जय राधे श्री राधे बोले श्यामर दुलारे जय राधे श्री राधे बोले श्यामर दुलारे जय राधे श्री राधे बोले श्यामर जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय राधे जय कृष्ण प्रिय नर्म सखी जत चामर दुलार प्रिय नर्म श्री राधा माधव पद सर विजयाशे भक्ति विनोद सखी पद तुम्हें भाषे जय राधे राधे राधा गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय बोलो राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय बोलो हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे बोलो हरे कृष्ण बोलो हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 बोलो हरे राम 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 हरे 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 बोलो हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे बोलो हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hari Bol Hari Prabhupada ke Dayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrarigacharya Ashtuttara Satasi Srimad Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Shri Guru Varga Guru Parampara Charo Sampradaya Ananta Kuti Vaishnava Vrinda ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ke Shri Vrindavan Mathuradam Navadvip Mayapur Jagannath Puri Dham ke Shri Ganga Devi Jamuna Devi ki Srimati Tulsi Devi ki Bhakti Devi ki Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudasanju ki Gaur Nitaya ki Shri Radha Krishna
Radha Vinod Bihari Ji.
Shri Radha Vinod Bihari ki Gaur Premanande. Glory to some devotee. Glory to some devotee. Glory Shri Guru, Shri Guru.
Yeah.
We don't do arti, we just.
Loafers are too loud for everyone. But I was actually, I'm muting the last time. Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Namo Radha Krishna Seva Bhavo Devi Tulsi Maharani ki Om Vrindaye Tulsi Devi Satyavataye Namo Vācākalapalūyascha Kripā Sindhubheva ca Patitānaṁ Pāvanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Dando pranam all Vaishnavas. No problem. It's okay. Just come proper crown. Bhakti Sangha ki jai.
Alors pas encore, je crois pas, non, j'ai pas encore regardé.
Krishna Bhakti ki jai.
Attention là. Ça continue à...
Radha Dasyan ki.
I think I'm gonna so much.